When it comes to capital punishment, everyone has their own opinions. Supporters believe that the eye for eye statement should be held true, should be the right way to go. Non-supporters believe that people should have the right to life. The death penalty has been an ongoing debate that has all good and bad parts to it. First one being, we may be killing innocent life versus that we are saving innocent lives. They say that killing innocent lives because innocent people get convicted numerous occasions in history on being the killer or the rapist or something like that, and they get put on death row and end up getting executed, and later on down the line find out that person was innocent. That's the reason why 2 of the states now in America are no longer having the death penalty. But then again, if we don't have the death penalty, one of those convicts or rapist, killer, whatever, can escape prison, maybe somehow, or get off on good behavior or something like that, and go out and do another killing or rapist or drug dealer or whatever. And it defeats the whole purpose. But if we go ahead and kill them, then there is no making that mistake. There is no that person getting back out and doing it all over again. And nowadays we have DNA to help us, these DNA testing and other methods of modern things, to figure out whether or not this person is like really the bad guy or not. It's more accurate than all of our previous things. And since we've had this new DNA thing, the rates of innocent people has declined very much. The second one is death penalty is a cruel and unusual punishment versus death penalty is the ultimate justice. The prisoners, they say it's unusual punishment because first off, the prisoner has to go through all the pain and agony of dying and stuff, but yet that's how they're in the first place, is they caused that pain and agony on somebody else and, you know, ended their life early. But they say it's cruel and unusual punishment because we're doing the same thing they did to get in there to them. And then the other part is the killer's family has to suffer losing a loved one with him getting executed early and stuff. And they're saying that's cruel and unusual punishment. But then again, the victim's family has been hurt by it and all that stuff. And by killing the convict, then the family has that closure finally. The victim's family that who did their family wrong is now no longer living. They say that the eye for eye statement mentality is, if we get rid of it, then that's the only way our civilization can advance. But looking at history, that's one of the main reasons why civilization has advanced. If we never got rid of those people, then there's no telling where the world will be today. The third one was there's endless amount of appeals in the court, just overcrowding the court and stuff versus the overcrowding prisons. They say if you put a prisoner on death row, they're going to flood the courts in trying to get out of that. However, if you keep them in prison, then they're going to overflood the prisons. The way I look at it is, if you keep them in the prison, they're going to overflood the courts and the prison. So you might as well go ahead and put them on death row, and if they can't prove themselves innocent, by the time their execution date is, well, it's over. You don't have overcrowding and all that stuff. But in conclusion, my opinion on the death penalty is I believe it should remain in justice, and or at least in the states that it is being used in right now, which is around half of them. But what helped me decide on this was these 2 testimonies that I found. The first one was this person's testimony. They were part of the Parents of Modern Children, the PMC. They were saying that a woman came up to them one time and was talking about how her husband on her birthday, killed her 5-year-old daughter, and then went to kill the 2-year-old son, but the gun didn't go off, and the 2-year-old son ended up making it. Well, the guy later on went to prison and eventually ended up killing himself. And it turns out after searching and doing all the research on him and all that stuff, it turns out he paid people on the outside to, I think it was like $5,000 to burn down the mother and the son's house while they were sleeping. And he figured, you know, if he can't have those kids, then the mother shouldn't have them either. And so, although he was in prison, he was planning on killing them anyways through communicating with the outside world. And if he wouldn't have died in that prison, then he would have probably more than likely succeeded in doing it. The other one was back in February 2000, there was a report of a 62-year-old grandmother named Betty Beats. She had apparently was on the news pleading for her freedom in the getting out of death row and all that stuff, and she was scared, you know, of dying and all that. And this, like, everybody felt sorry for her and stuff, and it turned out that she had 5 husbands and she killed the 4th husband. That's why she was on death row. Well, not death row, but like in prison for murder. And then she got out on parole, and it turned out that she went and killed her 5th husband and buried him in the backyard, got caught for that, got put back in prison, and now she's pleading to get out. All of a sudden, nobody feels guilty, like feels sad for her or nothing. A lot of these people that's on death row, they're on there for a reason, and I believe that we should keep them on death row and let whatever happens happen to them. But once again, in the end, I believe the death penalty should remain injustice.